The First Instance Court of Durrës has declared the June 30 election process as invalid, rejecting the request by Socialist Representative Valbona Sako for the recognition of the mandate. One day after the DP chair expressed the readiness of the opposition to enter into triple elections on October 13, Prime Minister Rama said he does not recognise this date, with the majority agreeing to dialogue but refusing to negotiate constitutional mandates. President Meta has decided to propose to the Assembly Professor Petrac Milo as a candidate for the post of the head of the High State Control. It's 6 o'clock on Wednesday, the 17th of July, 2019. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to RTV Ora's English edition. My name is Alexandra, bringing you the only daily update of the local Albanian news translated into English. The First Instance Court in Durrës has refused to confirm the mayoral mandate for Socialist Party candidate Valbona Sako. The latter won the election on June 30 against her Democratic conviction rival Valbona Sakolari. But according to the official documents, the court has argued that the process is not legal as the Democratic conviction was registered after the official deadline, making these elections null and void. The judges estimate that the Democratic conviction was registered in court on the 25th of April 2019, after the registration deadline for the June 30 elections had passed. Given the circumstances, the Durrës court has declared the election result invalid, though it is likely that this decision will be appealed. Unlike the Democratic Party leader Lulzim Basha, who stated that the opposition accepts President Meta's proposal for 3 elections on October 13, Prime Minister Edi Rama remains unwavering in his stance on the issue. The elections were held on the 30th of June. We are very committed to starting the whole process of leading local government. For this, we have raised 3 leading councils, and this is our focus. We have the challenge of solving people's problems. We do not have time to deal with the internal affairs of the opposition or the president. October 13 for me is the same as October 12, November 14, September 15, November 6 or December 22, said Rama. After about 5 hours of discussions at the Socialist Party's leadership meeting, the Prime Minister said he is ready to sit and dialogue at a table to resolve the political crisis, but that there can be no discussion regarding his ruling mandate. We are available to sit at a table with anyone, without exception or judgment, to discuss the country's challenges and what is important to address, in terms of game rules, the function of electoral reform. Regarding our constitution, legality and our governing mandate, these are not issues that we have to discuss with anyone else because they relate to our obligations. We are a ruling majority that have the obligation to honour the mandate given to us until 2021, said Rama. The focus of the meeting of the Socialist Party's leadership, which has been held for the second time within a week, was the results of the June 30th voting. One of the decisions that was made at the leadership meeting was the postponement of the National Assembly. It will now be held on the 23rd of July at the Palace of Congress. Despite the warnings that they would appeal to the Electoral College for all the claims overthrown by the Central Election Commission, the Democratic Conviction Party, has submitted only 5 relating to members of municipal councils. The Central Election Commission today completed the procedural meetings on the distribution of municipal council mandates, which have been blocked due to being voted against by the chair of the Central Election Commission, Clement Suguri. The draft decisions for 55 municipalities have been passed by the Central Election Commission, while 6 other municipalities have been either appealed to the Electoral College, 5 of which were appeals raised by the Democratic Conviction Party and 1 of which was raised by the independent candidate for the municipality of Finic, Leonida Christo. Failure to reach the required quorum of 5 votes in the council has seen the Electoral College pass all the weight of the decision-making for the mandates of the members of the municipal councils. So far, the Socialist Party has appealed the first 20 municipalities to the college, while it is expected that they will appeal the other 35 within the 5-day deadline. Pending this deadline, the Central Election Commission will hold its next meeting after July 22nd. Following the failure of 2 nominations, those of Vittore Tusha and Bahri Sachiri from the Socialist majority, President Ilir Meta has decided to propose Professor Petrac Milo as the candidate for the position of Head of High State Control to the Assembly. This was announced by the president's spokesman, Teddy Blushi, who declared to the media that Milo is a personality with tremendous experience, both domestically and internationally, in the areas of finance, auditing, banking and the economy as a whole, as well as a prominent contributor to the management of financial institutions and the fiscal and banking sector in Kosovo. However, it was also noted that from Petrac Milo's CV that he worked as an advisor to former Prime Minister Sali Berisha for nearly 8 years. In the announcement distributed by the presidency, it was said that there is no more suitable candidate for the head of high state control. President Meta is convinced his decision is justified after having read with great attention the suggestions of the Assembly of the Republic of Albania regarding the professional profile that the candidate for the president of HSC should have. You will not find a more conveniently suited candidate and with such comprehensive experience like Professor Dr. Petrac Milo to fulfil this extremely important constitutional task with professionalism and dignity, reads the announcement from the presidency. President Meta also once again thanked the previous candidates proposed by him for the post of the chair of the High State Control, Mrs. Vitória Tusha and Mr. Bahri Sachiri. It is the moment for a frontal reaction, whether in the whole of the tax administration or individually by every director and employee of this administration. We are facing a situation where the issuance of tax receipts is at an all-time low. We have a difficult but necessary battle against informality, and this is the direct responsibility of the tax administration, declared Prime Minister Edi Rama. Following these statements by Prime Minister Edi Rama, Finance Minister Anila Denai was on the ground attending verifications and inspections. She called for business formalisation in the name of fair competition. But in a part of businesses, mainly small ones located in the suburbs or peripheral areas of Tirana, informality continues to be present. According to citizens, hairdressers, beauty centres, grocery stores and neighbourhood coffee shops are the most common culprits of failing to issue the required tax receipt. In a meeting with tax officials, the Prime Minister warned that businesses not adhering to the requirements will face punishments up to and including the complete closure of their business. According to a new draft, aviation personnel who will have access to restricted areas will be subject to a control period no shorter than 5 years, with random checks being conducted regularly. This employee filtering will be carried out by the ministry that covers public order issues, while the Civil Aviation Authority will approve the disqualifying criteria related to past controls. New in the draft law is the creation of a special structure to be called the Investigation Authority. For serious incidents or events such as the Renus robbery, this facility has the right to investigate the persons involved and to draft a report to be submitted to the Council of Ministers. The Investigation Authority will be independent of the aviation authorities who oversee airworthiness, licensing, operation of aircraft, maintenance, personnel licensing, air traffic control and aerodrome operations. The authority will also be independent of all physical and legal persons whose interests or missions may be in conflict with the task assigned to the Investigation Authority or may influence the objectivity of that authority. The draft envisages 165 articles, 18 more than the actual one, with special chapters covering reports of incidents and incidents occurring both during and after the flight. For the non-implementation of the articles, this code outlines the imposition of fines, starting at 2 million lek for individuals, while ranging from 5 million to 20 million lek for subjects. These sanctions may also be accompanied by suspension or revocation of licences or certifications. The draft has been presented for discussion with stakeholders and is expected to go to parliamentary committees for approval. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of RTV Ora, thank you and good night.